In this video, you're going to be taking a look at the third and final Darth Maul action figure I recently acquired, and a lot of various Darth Mauls from the Phantom Menace line. This one is titled as Sith Lord, and its unique feature is that he has a removable lightsaber blade, and it's just on one side, particularly this one here. So he's mostly in a pre-posed position, and it's mostly in that iconic scene of him when he reveals that he has a double-bladed lightsaber to Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon there just before the Duel of the Fates. And that's pretty much it. His articulation is very limited. This is about the only pose you really can get him in. He has a little bit of mobility, but not much. And you can't even get him to hold his lightsaber with two hands, no matter what you try. But still, it's a very nice Darth Maul, something unique. I think between the three I reviewed, including this one now, this is probably the harder one to get a hold of, but that doesn't say much because he's still relatively affordable online. You probably get on eBay and find him for $10 or less. Not sure if this one has any variants or not. I did forget to mention in the last ones I did, this one in particular, that he does have a few variants out there, and that's mostly on his tunic here. Some of them have gray, some of them are black. Just small things like that. I think this one might have something similar. But we'll touch on the figure here a little closer in a minute. We'll look at his package here. Another iconic Episode 1 package. Nice image of Maul there. It's a very iconic image of him. Darth Maul, Sith Lord, with lightsaber with removable blade. Which at the time, having a removable blade was kind of a big deal. I don't think we had too many action figures up to this point that had one. So it was a pretty unique thing. And then, of course, in the line succeeding this, oftentimes we saw the removable lightsaber blades from the hilts. The generic information, and then some Comtech chip lines. Pretty similar to the last ones I reviewed. And it says this chip interacts with Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, Yoda, Mace Windu, Kiadi, and Adikalia. Advertising the various figures here. Nice image of Maul in the fan club there. It's the same image that's used on the Phantom Menace book that was released back in 1999, which I do have that. I really do like the Phantom Menace book. I read it many years ago. This is probably 15 plus years ago at this point. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Unfortunately, this Darth Maul has the same stickiness problem that the last two I reviewed have. So all three of these are going to have to get the baby powder bath together. And this one's actually probably the stickiest of the three. But it should be an easy fix. No big deal. Kind of see the glossiness to his tunic there. The plastic deteriorating. Can't help it. Especially, I notice figures that have been in the package for many years, this oftentimes happens too. If it's loose, not so much. I guess because it gets air to it. So the likeness to Maul is okay. I would say between the three action figures, this one probably has the least closest likeness. But it's not too bad. It's Darth Maul. That's all that matters. You can kind of recognize that's him. Although it kind of looks like a younger version of him. I think Darth Maul is supposed to be like 22 or 23 in the film. This looks like a Maul where he's like 16 or 17. Just looks a little thinner. So I guess you could count this as like an EU Maul where he's much younger and still training. So those robes are pretty normal. Very innovative thing about this is that he has the soft goods lower skirt here. Most action figures at this time especially had plastic, and all these guys here have plastic. In fact, I'll just bring them all out right now. So the fact he has soft goods is very unique for this time. Although it doesn't really amount to much because you can't really move his legs for much anyway. So we'll go ahead and go over the articulation now. He does have a swivel at the neck, which is very fluid. I still haven't been able to break the joint on the one back here, so I'll have to work with that a little bit. But this one was pretty easy to articulate. And he does have swivel at the shoulders for both shoulders. This elbow does not have any articulation, neither does his gauntlet there, or his wrist and forearm. So you can just move it up and down like this, and that's it. Just kind of simulate that pose that we see him in. And same with this one. So really his only natural poses are going to be something like that, or something like that even. That's pretty much it. He does have a swivel waist and then swivel hips, and that's it for his articulation. So definitely the least articulated action figure among the three here. In terms of his weapons and accessories, pretty much about the same double-bladed lightsaber we've gotten before. I'll take this one out of his hand. Pretty standard hilt. And then here is his removable blade. And does stay in place pretty good. Can barely even tell he has a removable lightsaber blade. And the hilt does fit pretty well in his hand. Quite frankly, I don't know, there really isn't a reason to have him with just the one blade here, because you can't really give him any poses anyway, and even if you wanted to reenact his duel with Obi-Wan, once he's down to just half of his lightsaber, this is still the only pose you can really get him in, so that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and see what his contact lines are.
You are powerless against the dark side. Prepare to die, Jedi. You are no match for the Sith. You are powerless against the dark side.
That's pretty much it. So pretty much all voice lines that have sound effects interacting with it. Those are some pretty good voice lines, very unique. Definitely much different from the other two here. But they're not lines that he says in the movie. In fact, that's probably more lines than he even says in the entire film. But that's alright. I like that Darth Maul didn't have a lot of lines in the film. I think it kept him in that, it kept him mysterious. And I think that's one of the characterizations about Maul here. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can show. I will show one more thing. And with all three of these action figures, I didn't really show off exactly what their stands look like. So Darth Maul in that iconic pose there, that's the same one that's, or the same image that's used on the TVC package of him. Darth Maul, Sith Lord, and apprentice to Darth Sidious. This guy kind of does need to stand. He doesn't really stand too well on his own. And these are pretty good stands. And fortunately, he can actually fit the bottom of their foot completely on the stand. It's not like now with the TBC figures where they can barely fit. That's an okay image of Maul. It's kind of unique. Yeah, pretty much the same thing on the back here. And for the Tatooine one, pretty much same description. But that's pretty much it. I'm pretty sure these are the only 3 mainline Darth Maul action figures you can get in the Phantom Menace line. There are others. There's one that comes with a speeder. There is a holographic one, which was a Walmart exclusive back in the day. And I really want to get hold of that one as well. It's really cool. But these are pretty much the core ones. Here's the TBC figure. Just to kind of show how far we've come along with Maul over the years. All 3 of the Phantom Menace ones are great. I can't really say one's better than the other. They all have something different to offer. Yes, this one's a little less articulated, but I think he's meant to fulfill a very specific scene. And I think he captures that perfectly. So if you can track down all 3 of the Phantom Menace Mauls here, I would totally recommend them. And they're all fairly affordable. Like I said, I got all 3 of them together for basically less than $30. So less than $10 on an action figure, I think it's definitely worth that amount. I got my money's worth out of it, and I'm happy to add all 3 of these in my collection and return a few of these to my collection. This Tatooine Darth Maul in particular. This one here and this Sith Lord one is the first time I've owned those in hand. But I have kind of interacted with this version of Maul before. This is the first time I've really had a chance to open it out of the package and see what he's all about. So very happy to have all 3 of these. And I hope to continue my Phantom Menace collection here. But anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for plenty more reviews in the future. There will always be more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I always appreciate all your support. And check out some of the links in the description if you have not done so already. As always, thanks for watching.